Joining me now is our friend Illinois Congressman Mike Quigley, a member of the Appropriations Committee and Select Committee on Intelligence. Welcome, Congressman. It's always good to speak with you. So I understand you were at one of those Mexican Independence Day parades. Give me a sense of what you saw. And is there a palpable sense of fear among people attending that parade?
Yeah, it's good to be back. I was proud to march in the Pilsen Mexican Independence Day parade with my friend Chuy Garcia. And, this is a community on edge. The crowds were down because of that. But there's a real determination, a real resilience there. Given the circumstances, that can be understood.
So on Tuesday, Congressman, Governor J.B. Pritzker said that staging for federal enforcement in the Chicago area, it's already begun. President Trump said the decision to send the troops to Chicago was, quote, not a political thing. And today said, quote, Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War with that, I don't know how to describe that tweet right there. But anyway, what's your response? Because your district covers parts of Chicago as well as surrounding neighborhoods. What are you telling your constituents?
Look, this is the act of a tyrant. This is the act of a bully. It has nothing to do with reducing crime. Wherever the trends are, Chicago acknowledges it can always do better. But for the money they spent deploying the National Guard in Los Angeles, Chicago could have hired 2,000 more police officers, or the other programs that actually reduce crime, the interrupters. Our good friend Arne Duncan, former Secretary of Education, runs Chicago Cred. His program prevents violence before it takes place. There's many more like it. But the president cut programs like that by $800 million. We are in a less safe situation because of this. Yeah, I want to point out you're right with that Los Angeles and the cost of the National Guard. There was at least a couple $100 million to do that. You and 9 other Illinois members of Congress sent the White House a letter demanding that it suspend its plans. And it says, quote, the deployment of the U.S. military into American cities is not about safety. It's about abusing the power of the executive branch and threatening Democratic-led cities and states that dare to openly oppose your authoritarianism. So explain what you mean there, and how much is Trump attempting to manufacture a crisis to provoke clashes with citizens so he can then take the credit for putting them down? No, that's why the governor and others have said to the public here in Chicago, don't take the bait. It's important to protest, but do not at any point get violent. It is an extraordinarily scary time. But let me quote the former head of Illinois' National Guard, General Hayes, who said he believes pitting the military against civilians could permanently stain the relationship and the status of the military. It's turning this country against itself. It's a president desperately trying to change the topic from the economy, from inflation, from Epstein, failed foreign policy efforts. And unfortunately, we're feeling the brunt of it here in Chicago. You mentioned foreign policy, sir. I want to move on to the Russia-Ukraine war because NBC News reports of a plan for the U.S. to be the top watchdog of a buffer zone of sorts inside Ukraine if a peace deal comes together. This demilitarized area would reportedly be secured by non-NATO countries. No U.S. troops would be deployed there. On Friday, Vladimir Putin said any foreign troops deployed to Ukraine would be considered legitimate targets. What do you make of that and of the prospects for peace right now? Look, Putin understands one thing, and that is strength. He does not see it in Trump. So it's in his interest to just blow past these ultimatums, 7 of them now that President Trump put in place, and continue this. In a war of attrition, Putin wins because he's got an extraordinary manpower advantage, something like 6-1. So when Zelensky came to the U.S., he said, help us win quickly. Trump is helping Putin push back that deadline. And in the meantime, Putin escalates this and maintains his maximalist conditions on any sort of cessation of violence. It's a terrible situation, not just for Ukraine, but all of Eastern Europe. All right, Congressman Mike Quigley, sobering statement, but I appreciate you joining us. Thank you.